Now, since Article 370 was scrapped in Jammu and Kashmir, Pakistan has tried time and again to foment trouble in the valley. And the biggest casualty are civilians living along the border. India Today's Abhishek Bhalla travelled to Gurez sector along the line of control. And here's our exclusive report on how the Pakistan army is targeting innocent civilians.
Homes gutted, villagers living in fear. This is the Gurez sector along the line of control in Jammu and Kashmir. And it is here that Pakistan has resorted to unprovoked heavy shelling. Pakistan is targeting civilians using artillery guns. This escalation and series of ceasefire violations comes after India abrogated Article 370. In the Gurez sector itself, heavy artillery has been used 3 times in over a month. It all started with small arms firing, but within minutes, houses were reduced to ashes.
करीब 9 बजे सर 9 बजे थोड़ा छोटा हथियार से फायरिंग हो गया। बाद में जब वहाँ से आगे ना कुछ जब उनका ज़्यादा आवाज़ होता है तेज़, तो हम घुस गए मोर्चा में। बाद में पूरा जल गया, हमको मौका नहीं आ गया।
Hundreds gather in makeshift bunkers that locals call the morcha. More than 15 homes in Jungli village have been gutted. But even the bunkers were not spared by Pakistan.
There was one bunker for several families that were living here, and they all stuffed into that they had made on their own. Finally, after this incident, the administration has sanctioned building of more bunkers in the area to provide some kind of safety for the people who are living near the line of control.
The Indian army has retaliating in equal measure, and there has been heavy damage to military establishment in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir.
उस टाइम बंकर में था, जब आग लगी तो उधर से दौड़े, पूरे इसमें गोले पड़ गए थे, लेकिन ये पता नहीं था गोला कहाँ से आए। तो उस टाइम अपना जान बचाते थे, गया ऊपर वाला बस्ती है उसमें गया। तो उसके बाद पता ही नहीं चला, हम नीचे नहीं आए, उस बंकर के अंदर ही था।
कुछ भी नहीं बचा था सर, किसी इसका सर तकरीबन इसका बेड 50-60 था सर, पूरा जल गया अंदर मकान में।
The heavy shelling has scared children in the village.
आज हमें 1 महीना हो गया और 1.5 महीना हो गया कि हम स्कूल ही नहीं जा पा रहे हैं। कहाँ जाएंगे स्कूल? यहाँ से जाते हैं स्कूल के लिए तो वहाँ से पता चलता है कि आज शेलिंग होने वाली है, तो वापस आते हैं।
With their homes completely destroyed, these families with over 100 people depend on neighbors and relatives for everything.
There had not been such escalation, including heavy artillery fire by Pakistan, in over a decade. Officials say it's a clear sign of the Pakistanis being rattled after the abrogation of Article 370. In time to come, people are hoping that peace can prevail so that they can go about their lives normally. With camera person Nasir Khan in Gurez, Abhishek Bhalla for India Today.
Abhishek Bhalla is now joining us live from Srinagar. Abhishek, we just played out that extensive ground report that you filed from Gurez. If you could just sum up what you really saw in Gurez, what is the kind of damage that's been caused to civilians' lives? How long will it really take for their lives to go back to normal, considering the significant amount of damage to their homes, their property, their belongings?
Well, these were 15 to 16 homes where more than 150 people were living. And obviously now they are homeless. They are depending on their neighbors, on their relatives. People in this area are extremely poor. It's a backward area. Most of them are cattle grazers, or, they do minor jobs either with the army and indulge in some kind of, labor that they can assist with, and there are no real jobs, so it's extremely difficult for them after having lost their homes. In fact, they also lost a lot of sheep and cattle that was burnt along with these homes of theirs, and the situation will take long it seems for the lives to get back to some normalcy. Having said that, the people are living in extreme fear. There is a demand for bunkers from the administration. What I heard from official sources is that just for this particular area, 25 bunkers have been sanctioned, but work is yet to start. So obviously things will take a lot of time. But what officials in the army also told me was that Pakistan has been doing this. This is a new trend. Areas like Gurez and Tangdar were not traditionally, places where this kind of heavy shelling was done. This kind of heavy shelling was done south of Pir Panjal in Naushera or Rajouri and Punj. So the idea is to, create trouble for the civilians even up north in these areas. And remember, these are places where the local population, goes along with the army. They are friendly with the army is friendly with them. So they are tactically, these people are very, very important. They give information to the forces on the ground about possible infiltration. So, creating any kind of trouble for the civilians there is a clear sign, is a clear attempt by Pakistan to make sure that there can be some problem in the area and they can then get infiltration. Terrorists can sneak in from some of the launch pads that are opposite this area. But as far as the forces on the ground are concerned, they have managed to foil most of these infiltration attempts.
And let's be very clear, Abhishek, that the Pakistan army is intentionally targeting innocent civilians there along the LOC, along the border, and we will discuss that as well. But also, let's take a look at how Pakistan has been attempting to stoke violence in the valley. The Pakistan army is helping terrorists to actually infiltrate into Jammu and Kashmir. Their terror plot includes providing cover fire, includes targeting civilians along the LOC to help these terrorists infiltrate.
Never before has Pakistan resorted to such blatant provocation. While heavy shelling was restricted to areas south of Pir Panjal, in places like Poonch, Naushera and Rajouri, now ceasefire violations are also being recorded in upper reaches like Gurez and Tangdar.
कम से कम 15 साल के बाद देखिए 15-16 साल के बाद
यहाँ सर 2 बार सर शेलिंग हुआ था जी 2015 में भी शेलिंग हुआ था। टारगेट यही बना है, इस साल भी यही बना है। गवर्नमेंट के लिए गुजारिश है, हम यहाँ रह नहीं सकता है, नहीं यहाँ कोई बंकर बन सकता है।
Pak-sponsored terror launch pads are also extremely active in the Gurez sector. Sources say these launch pads have 25 to 30 terrorists waiting to infiltrate.
Traditionally, the places where ceasefire violations happen are Rajouri, Naushera and Punch. But after the abrogation of Article 370, Pakistan has been escalating matters in these areas as well. A clear indication that they are rattled and they want to push in terrorists, and that's why these ceasefire violations are happening.
Some of the launch pads that are active in the area are Machal, opposite Dawar, where an Indian Army Brigade headquarters is located. Sonar, Kale, Losar, Taubat and Durmat are under close watch. Sources say Pakistan has been trying to disturb peace and incite violence in whatever way it can. Targeting civilians is also one of those ploys.
This is an area where terror launch pads in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir are fully functional, trying to infiltrate almost every night. But most of these infiltration attempts have been foiled and they are being backed by the Pakistani forces, and that's the reason why Pakistan has been indulging in ceasefire violations to abet infiltration. With camera person Nasir Ahmed, Abhishek Bhalla in Gurez for India Today.
Taking this once again across to Abhishek Bhalla. Abhishek, as you pointed out in this report as well, and as you were telling us earlier, you don't really see this kind of heavy shelling in sectors like Gurez and Tangdar. What's really changed now, besides, of course, the fact that Pakistan is upping its provocation along the border? Why these areas in particular?
Well, as I said that, these are places where the population is extremely friendly with the Indian Army, and the Indian Army is also friendly with the population. So there's a symbiotic relationship. So one reason perhaps is to create trouble for the locals. Whenever there is damage to property, or whenever Pakistan resorts to this kind of aggression, the anger will obviously be against Pakistan, but people will also have resentment against their own administration, and that's the idea, because people will complain that their lives are not normal, they've lost property, they've lost cattle who they depend on. So one idea is this. The other is, of course, to maximize infiltration. Perhaps this is the first time in many years when heavy artillery firing is being carried out in these areas to assist terrorists who are there at these launch pads. I've been speaking extensively to army officials on the ground, and they've all been reiterating the fact that since the abrogation of Article 370, the Pakistani aggression has enhanced like anything, because they want to make sure that there can be trouble in Jammu and Kashmir. Terrorists can be infiltrated from these areas. But having said that, for people who are living in these areas, obviously life is very tough. These are backward areas. They are cut off from mainland Kashmir. So these are people who don't travel to Srinagar very often, and as far as Article 370 is concerned, they are not really aware of what it was earlier, what benefits were they drawing because of Article 370, and even now they remain confused whether, after the abrogation of Article 370, will their lives change. But they are scared, they're shy, they don't want to say a lot of things on camera. Many of these people told me that, if they speak about Article 370 or the politics around it, they can be identified, and if they travel to mainland Kashmir, they can be targeted. So these are the problems that people in these areas face. It's not just in Gurez. Earlier I had travelled to Tangdar as well, and there was a similar situation on the ground even there.
All right, Abhishek, thanks for joining us live, and thanks for getting us those comprehensive ground reports also from Gurez sector.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.